unsanctioned, unauthorized missions. If we fail, England will be condemned to a lifetime under the German boot.
And so I said, that is not a dog, that is my wife!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 World War II action film, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. The film is directed by Guy Ritchie and stars Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, Alex Pettyfer, Isaac Gonzalez, Carrie Ells, we have Henry Golding, Rory Kinnear and Freddie Fox. Right, this is based on a true story, and it focuses on a group of fairly roguish soldiers, I suppose. Essentially, the British, we are not doing well in World War II. Anyone that knows their history knows there was a period where, the most favourable action was actually to try and negotiate with Hitler. Winston Churchill was having none of it, though, and he put together this group of misfits led by Henry Cavill's Gus March Phillips, who puts together a team to essentially put a stop to the German dominance in the oceans with their U-boats and stuff. So their plan is to cut off supplies so that their U-boats will no longer kind of dominate the oceans. It's off the books. It's a Black Ops mission. If they get caught or killed, nobody knows they exist, but still they go ahead with the plan. Right. What are my thoughts on the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare? Well, I've been quite looking forward to this film. I thought the trailer was fantastic that I saw several months ago. It looked fun, it looked entertaining, and obviously there is this interest as well that it's based on real life events. Now, we all know that movies tend to kind of glamorize or certainly exaggerate some of the real life events. However, these people in this film really existed. This operation really took place, and the evidence is given at the end of the film. And in actual fact, you may know or you may not know that Gus March Phillips, the character that Henry Cavill plays, is widely regarded as the character that Ian Fleming based James Bond on, because Ian Fleming was in actual fact involved in this mission. He was one of the people behind organising it, if you like, back on the ground, back in the UK sort of thing. He was part of the team that put this crew together with Winston and others. It was, obviously a big inspiration to Ian Fleming in regards to going forward with James Bond. Is that an omen for Henry Cavill for the upcoming Bond role? I hope so. In a recent interview that I saw with Henry Cavill, he did say it was a good, stepping stone maybe to getting into Bond, but no decision has been made. So that says to me his hat is certainly in the ring. But anyway, onto this film. What do I think of this film? Well, I think it's a hugely entertaining film. Very, very good indeed. I really enjoyed it. I think Guy Ritchie, when you actually analyse the films that he's made over the years, he's done some absolute belters. And quite a lot of them I really, really enjoy. There are a handful of his films that are not for me, I'll be honest. But I think he can really do these type of films with his eyes closed. Like really slick action with really fun, cool dialogue and fairly memorable characters. And he's got that. I mean, for any Tarantino fans out there, and I class myself as one of them, you might find this insulting, but for me, Guy Ritchie is almost like the British Tarantino, in the way that he does his films, but he does them with a little bit more, I don't know, not as much look at me, if you like, as what Tarantino does. I think Tarantino is sometimes a little bit self-obsessed with himself. But this film, I think, is really, really fun and entertaining. And I have to say, I thought Henry Cavill was outstanding here. Now, I've always liked Henry Cavill. I think he's proven over the years that he is a very, very popular actor. Obviously, brilliant Superman, brilliant Witcher until they blew that series all to hell. And generally, he's becoming a proper film star now. Really, really, it is. And honestly, I think this is arguably my favourite character of his. He's charming, he's funny, he's roguish. It just feels a different character, and he really shows his comedic side as well here, Henry Cavill. And he just, for me, absolutely is the star of this film. The other people on the crew, we've got Alan Ritchson here, obviously Reacher, very memorable too, playing this badass guy that just takes people out with knives and arrows. I mean, he is proper full-on badass. And then you've got other characters. Now, what I will say is probably beyond Henry Cavill and Alan Ritchson, and arguably Alex Pettyfer, who's part of their crew, all the other members of the crew are fairly forgettable. They all have, fairly critical roles in regards to the military operation that they're undertaking, but in regards to characters themselves, fairly forgettable. And then you've got these other two characters. You've got Marjorie and Heron, who are like spies already on the island working to try and get, the ducks in line, if you like, for when Henry Cavill's team turns up. I thought they did very, very well as well. Especially Isa Gonzalez. I thought, she has to kind of cozy up to the German officer to try and win their support and all that kind of stuff and do all the seduction thing. While Henry Cavill and his crew kind of formulate the plan and put it all in action. It's really good. It's one of those war movies where you get a really cool action sequence fairly early on in the film because they have to spring Alex Pettyfer's character out of jail, and that was a really fun action sequence. And then you get all the kind of setup then and build up to the massive finale of the film where the kind of trying to steal these German boats in order for the plan to be fully delivered. And it doesn't disappoint, I have to say, the whole sequence at the end. For those of you, and I was one of them, maybe expecting it to be almost like a Dirty Dozen style film, where people, our heroes are taken down. It's not exactly like that, but I suppose if it didn't happen in reality, then, why would they do it as part of the film? But I think the biggest disappointment for me, honestly, about this film is the fact that it seems to be doing really, really poorly at the box office. For the life of me, I cannot understand that. I really cannot understand it, and I find it very, very frustrating because it's a new and original action film. It's got real charm. It's got great action. It's got fun characters. While, I don't know, from what I can tell as well, this is getting pretty good reviews by most people. For me, it deserves to do far, far better. I think it's an absolute shame. So I would encourage you guys to go out and watch this film. It's a lot of fun, and I think you will find it very, very entertaining. I certainly did, and I had a great, great time with this film, so I highly recommend it. So thanks for checking out this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please click the like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.